We are following two breaking stories right now. First, 5 people were shot in downtown Seattle around 7 o'clock tonight. And a protest is taking place downtown too. Police say the shooting and the protest are not related.
Investigators say 2 of those victims have life-threatening injuries. Seattle police are still looking for the shooter. They say this all started out as an argument. Police got there quickly because of the anti-Trump rally just a few blocks away. They say the shooting has nothing to do with that protest. Good evening, I'm David Espinosa Hall.
And I'm Amanda Grace. We want to begin with the anti-Trump protest happening downtown. And King 5's Lori Matsukawa and John Langler have been following that protest.
5 o'clock.
Lori, where are the protesters right now?
Go Mariners, baby, go Mariners! Protest in support of the Mariners, evidently, and against. Oh, go ahead.
Not my president! These protesters now. Not my president! Tell us, please. Not my president! Not my president! Not my president! Not my president! Not my president!
Okay, Lori, so this, as you mentioned, this started down in Westlake Plaza at about 5 o'clock. And this is an anti-Trump rally. The election last night of Republican Donald Trump into the Oval Office has spurred on this protest. The chants have been a variety of "not my president," "he doesn't represent us." The protest made its way from downtown up to Capitol Hill, then up north to the U District, kind of circled around there, went up to the entrance to I-5, did not get on the freeway, stopped traffic in a variety of places. Now, dogs, baby, we are wandering up to the quad here at the university. Now, this has been peaceful from the beginning, at least since I've been a part of it. I acknowledge that there has been some situation down in Westlake that may or may not be connected, and you'll have to fill me in on that. But this is a loud, frustrated, but peaceful group. A lot of them students. As we marched through the frat row, through the campus, through the U District, University District, we saw students coming out of dorms, out of frat houses, out of sororities, joining the protest as it wove its way through the neighborhood. And now we have found our way up to the campus proper, and we're about to get up to the quad here as the crowd continues to chant "not my president." And as we've been saying all along as we were feeding this live online, it's again worth pointing out the peaceful nature of this. We've seen so many protests almost annually, really, during May Day that end up descending into something that is unpleasant. And oh my gosh, look at this crowd. We just came up now on the quad. Look at the number of people here.
John,
base of the
let
hall.
me interrupt you right here.
An
It's
immense
interesting
number
that
of people.
It's interesting to us because we have been looking at this crowd from Sky King's point of view. There are hundreds of people gathered there in the quad, and so your reaction was very interesting because it is a pretty spectacular crowd. This is just a part of the crowd too that initially started from Westlake, because there were 5,000, according to Seattle police, that started from Westlake, made a huge quadrangle march all around downtown, up to Capitol Hill, up north to the U District, down to I-5, and now back to the quad. They are cheering. They are in terrific spirits. They feel like they are in solidarity with one another. And we noticed over the last hour and a half that motorists who were stopped to let these protesters go by were honking their horns in solidarity. They were very encouraging to the protesters. So motorists, protesters, all feeling a sense of community, a sense of purpose, a need to get together and be peacefully protesting and expressing themselves together like this tonight. Seattle police letting things happen organically, not getting in the way, just making sure that they didn't get onto Interstate 5, but otherwise an amazing show of solidarity by a predominantly young diverse crowd of people who are chanting things like, "Not my president," "Racist, sexist, doesn't represent us," and "Black Lives Matter." So a very interesting group, very energized, and they've been doing this for, like you said, John, several hours.
Yeah, we're in Red Square right now, next to the libraries, and well, we're surrounded by Red Square. I think they're gesturing. They're holding up peace signs. Holding up peace signs, 2 fingers up in the air. I'm not entirely sure who they're cheering for. I'm not sure if they're pointing at the news helicopter, quite honestly, but that is possible. But yeah, this has been peaceful, and this is students, a lot of students. We're gonna walk a little bit over this way. But yeah, when I came up the stairs to see Red Square filled like this, it was pretty remarkable. This all taking place. I mean, think about it. It hasn't really been that long since a new president was elected, and this is in their minds what democracy looks like. And this is a peaceful exercise. This is one of frustration. This is one where people who feel like they are not represented by Mr. Trump
And John, we have to remind
are exercising
our viewers
their
as
voice,
well
are
that
exercising
these,
their freedom, Lori.
That's right. We have to remind our viewers that these protests are happening all across the country, not just here in Seattle, but also in Oakland, California, in New York, in Portland, and in Boston. At one point, Boston had 10,000 protesters on the streets. So there are demonstrations like this happening all across the country. Pretty spontaneously organized, if you will. People just wishing to express their opinions about how they feel about the election results, and being with others who are feeling the same things they are.
I'm going to try and get Joseph. Excuse me, sorry. We're trying to navigate our way on these steps here. Look down, Lori, if you can look down, just a view of the humanity. You know, we couldn't really tell as we were walking. I got it. It's fine. My body, my choice to chant now. As we were walking through, I'll let you listen. Let me let you listen first. Everybody had choice. My body, my choice. 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 Everybody had choice. Lori, we couldn't really get a fair understanding from ground level walking through the university district just how big the crowd was. Certainly some people were here already when we got here, but just an immense crowd here in Red Square. We're going to walk up the steps a little bit.
Hey, so Dave, are you guys not power?
Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you so much, John. And as we take it back to David and Amanda, we can see from Sky King the size of the crowd. John Langler was astounded when he came up the steps to Red Square and saw the size of this crowd. This crowd seems to be a lot larger than it was even an hour ago as they made their way from Capitol Hill to the University District. So a lot of rallying happening now at Red Square. We toss it back to you.
Lori, John Langler, thank you so much. Again, we're looking at these pictures from Sky King above the scene. Are these the pictures from Seattle or from Oakland? Okay. Okay, so we're continuing to look at the pictures from Seattle. This is this crowd, which was estimated at about 5,000 at one point, that began to gather at Westlake Plaza and then marched all the way to the UW, where right now they're rallying at the Quad.
Yeah, large crowd, very passionate crowd. So we want to move from images here, where we are. Let's move now to Oakland. These are live pictures that you are checking out right now. Demonstrators are marching in Oakland tonight as we speak for a second night of protesting. This is all against Donald Trump's election as the next president of the United States of America. Protesters gathered, chanting, quote, "Not our president." One protester was cited and a small number of protesters were arrested on suspicion of vandalism and disobedience. We're also following a shooting in downtown Seattle. 5 people were shot tonight. We've also learned that 2 of them have life-threatening injuries.